Hello, I'm Anthony Frank. I'm the executive chef of the Williamsburg Lodge, and I'm going to be showing you how to make sausage stuffing. And
I'm Chef Justin Addison from the Williamsburg Lodge, and I'm going to be showing you how to make herb butter.
so we're going to start by making the stuffing. I'm going to add the oil to the pan and get that hot. Add my garlic. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to sweat this out. I don't want it to caramelize or get any color to it because it'll change your flavor profile. And you don't want to add your other vegetables to it yet, or else you get a raw garlic flavor to everything. Now I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to turn the pot down a little bit. My celery. Justin, why don't you start making the herb butter to stuff under the skin of the turkey?
Okay. Well, what we're doing is a signature thing that we do at the lodge. We use herb butter in a lot of our ingredients, whether it's all the way from risotto to chicken to beef, anything. We love to rest our meats with some of it on there. And in this case, we're going to use the butter. It's going to help crisp up the skin of the turkey. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some herbs. I have just unsalted butter. And then we're going to add some nice fresh herbs. We got a little bit of parsley. All right, a little bit of parsley here, putting all that in there. You have a little bit of thyme, and that, all right, and a little bit of rosemary. We do about 50% parsley, 25% thyme, 25% rosemary. And I'm going to touch it with just a touch of salt and pepper. All right. And then what we're going to do is easily just mix this up a little bit, just to blend the herbs and the butter together.
Yeah, fresh herbs.
Always fresh herbs. And actually, a lot of these herbs that we get are from our garden, and these are all easy herbs to grow in your garden. So if you want to do parsley, thyme, nice little potters outside when it's nice outside, and then bring them in for the wintertime. And it's really easy. Once we get this nice and work together, I'm going to put it in a piping bag, which I have sitting next to me here. And this piping bag is what we're going to use to press the butter underneath the skin of the turkey. This is what I'm using right here. This is just a plastic piping bag. So we'll go ahead and put the butter into there.
And as he's stuffing that, I have our sausage, fresh ground. I'm going to add that in to the celery, onions, and garlic. And I'm going to render out the fat in that. I, again, don't want to cause too much color because you don't want to change the flavor profile by either scorching or overcooking the browning of the sausage, which will give you a bitter flavor. And I have a little bit of sage, parsley, and fresh thyme.
All right, right here we have our butter. It's in our piping bag. I'm just going to grab a knife real quick, and we're going to cut just a little slit. And that way it will go ahead and be able to pipe right underneath the skin. I got a knife right here.
And now that I've added the sausage, we can turn the heat up a little bit so you saute it quickly. It'll cool down your pan pretty quickly. But you just want to get it cooked out. It's going to turn like a light whitish brown. Again, continually stirring so that you don't cause the browning or caramelization on it.
Is there any particular sausage that we used right here?
This here, no, we ground this fresh.
Okay.
So we ground it fresh, put our own sage seasoning in it. So it is the flavor profile of a breakfast sausage. I'd like to show you where I take it to. And you're just releasing the moisture, turning the fat into juice, which is flavor. And now you're going to add your chicken stock or turkey stock.
So is this stuffing that we're making a very similar flavor to the Stouffer's stuffing in a box?
No. It won't taste anything like Stouffer's in the box. Put a little salt and pepper into the stock and the milk, vegetable and sausage mixture. And once this comes to a boil, I'll take a little tasting spoon and make sure that the seasoning's correct, because once you add the bread to it, it's more difficult to get it evenly seasoned. So if you season this nicely, you don't have to add salt and pepper after you've made the stuffing already.
Taste it?
I am going to taste it. And you want it to be on the saltier side because you are adding bread to it, and unless you're using like artisan bread, it will be under-seasoned. So now that it's come back to a boil, now I add my diced bread.
Is there any particular bread that you used?
This is country white.
Right.
And now I'm going to turn this down because it'll boil quickly once this bread starts absorbing the liquid. Let me show you. And I'm just incorporating the milk and the stock and the bread together. It's going to be a little loose until it absorbs everything. You have to let this sit for a good 10 or 15 minutes before you stuff the turkey, or cool it and stuff the turkey. I'm going to turn this way down just to let it steam out a little bit. And Justin, you want to show them how to get the skin to move away from the
breast itself? What we have right here is the skin, and usually the skin is nice and tight to the breast here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers and we're just going to move slightly underneath the skin of the breast. So we're separating the skin from the meat itself. And this will give us an area for the butter to go into when we pipe it in there. So you want to get in there pretty deep. You could do this before trussing if you wanted to, but I'm going to do it right after. All right, and you pull that skin back, just like that.
And you want to make sure you don't go too fast so you don't tear that skin, because if you rip the skin, then it's going to open up and expose the turkey.
All right. And then we're going to take our butter, our butter that we made here, and we're going to pipe it down into the turkey breast just like this. All right. And give it a good squeeze. It doesn't have to be like perfectly even. Just going to squeeze it and then kind of push it all in there.
Into the skin.
And remember, all we're doing is adding this, so it gives awesome flavor to the meat. And then we're also the fat's gonna help crisp up that skin and give it this wonderful golden brown look to it that everybody wants on their Thanksgiving turkey. Again, just nice and easy. Pump it in. All right. Massage it right in there. All right. And at this point, you want to make sure, like as I was sticking my hands in there, it kind of loosens up that skin from underneath the truss. So there we have it. We have our turkey, which is about ready to go into the oven. We're going to salt and pepper it, or your favorite seasoning, however you like to do it, but we're going to do simply salt and pepper on the outside of it.
And we're going to show you how to make a Dutch oven, too. So this is our pan. You want, Justin, can you put that in the other pan back there? And what I did was I just ripped long pieces of aluminum foil, tore it, so that we can create steaming and also a roasting method so that you can cook the whole turkey. And what I do is I put onions, garlic, carrots, and celery in the bottom of the pan. And this will help steam out the bird. It'll keep the moisture content inside the wrap so that you keep your bird moist instead of allowing it all to release into your oven.
And also tasty to eat afterwards.
And it's tasty to eat afterwards, and that's how you make your gravy for your Thanksgiving dinner. So you have to wait until the bird's done before you can make the gravy. It's not cutting open a can, swans, and pouring it in a pot and warming it up.
All right.
So we're gonna put that back in there. And what I did with some of the extra herb butter earlier is I just squeeze some on the outside. And then I rub that into the breast with some salt and pepper.
You want to salt and pepper it up? No, rub it in. All right.
And you can salt pretty liberally. It's a big bird. It can take a lot of seasoning. If you under season it now, I'll show you. You can over season your gravy to give your flavor profile that you're looking for your Thanksgiving dinner. Now we will close the turkey up and get it ready for roasting. I tuck all the sides up because it'll keep all the juices in and underneath the bird. And now you put this in your oven at 325 degrees, and in about 4.5 hours, it'll be ready to go.
How would the skin, do you unwrap it at all?
I do. I unwrap it at about 4 hours, depending on the temperature. I do use a thermometer to test, but I pull it out around 150 degrees, and that's when I'll take the wrapping back off and let the browning happen. And it will, you can pump your oven up or bump your oven up to 350, or you can keep it at 325. It'll just take a little bit longer for it to finish at 325.
All right, and after your turkey is roasted, golden brown, delicious, the inside's cooked, take it out of the oven. Voila. Turkey should look nice like this. As you can see, the skin is golden brown from the butter that we put on the outside and on the inside. It's got wonderful juice coming from it. If you just give it a little push right there, you got that wonderful juice coming out. And we're gonna start preparing our sauce for the turkey.
Now I have to remove the turkey from the pan, and I'll put it on the cutting board to let it rest. What the resting will do is allow the juices to come back into the breast that has been pushed down towards the cage, and it'll be juicy from top to bottom. Now what I do is I take the pan, and I have a little strainer here, and I'm gonna pour the drippings. Look at all those drippings from one little turkey. This is all the fat, and it'll start to, fat and the drippings, and it'll start to separate. What I'm gonna do to get it started is I need a little ladle, and I'm gonna make my roux right out of the drippings from the fat from the turkey, which is gonna add really good flavor. And roux is equal parts fat and flour. So I poured that in there. I'm going to continue to let that separate. Justin, can you skim the rest of the fat off of there so that we can have nice drippings? I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to render out any of the drippings that might have come into here. I'm going to boil it out because you don't want any moisture in your roux. What will happen is your roux will become like a dough if it has any moisture content in it. So you have to get it pretty hot, and you're going to allow it to bubble away so that the moisture is released. And that's what's happening right now. And this is the same thing as if you were going to use butter, which you don't need to because you have all this wonderful fat left over from the turkey. You would render out your butter, and what we call it is clarifying. Your butter is about 60% fat and 40% whey. And now I just have clarified it. There is a little bit of browning in the bottom, which is fine. It's just going to add a little more turkey flavor to your. And I'm going to turn this down to about medium heat. And I'm going to take the flour. I'm going to add it to the bottom of the pot. So you got all the fat out of that, Jeff?
No way.
And I made my roux. And here you go. And that's your roux. You don't want to get, that color is mostly from the fat. There is a little browning in the bottom, but you don't want to get it darker where you start getting into a darker roux. While Justin continues, I do have a little stock here that I'm going to add to the roux to start my gravy. Almost
We're
ready?
almost down to it.
All right, you good.
Yeah, I
That'll
think it's
absorb
plenty.
that fat.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Now you're going to pour it out.
Got it. We're ready to go there.
And you want to stir pretty vigorously so that it doesn't lump up on you. You can add the rest of that, Justin. And then you want to bring this back to a boil and turn it down to a simmer. And you're going to simmer this for about 15 to 20 minutes. And that will cause the flour to cook out so you don't have this floury texture in your gravy.
All right, now we're going to get our turkey ready for carving here. What we're going to do is we're going to carve just a tiny piece right out the front here, so that way we can get some of that wonderful stuffing that we put inside this turkey. All right, there we go. That looks fantastic. All right, get this so we can get ready to carve this thing. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carve right from the breast, right here, all right, to give us a nice slice of this wonderful meat here. And I'm a skin kind of guy, so I'm going to leave a little, I'm going to take some of that skin from me. All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, our skin is crispy. Can you see it?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, right? It is good. What do you like? Do you like this piece, or do you like a little dark meat?
I like the leg.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, we can
I'm a
get a
leg
little.
kinda
We
guy.
can get a little leg off.
And
here for you,
as
man.
the turkey sat and rested, we about 15 minutes, and that's about how long it takes to finish the gravy. And now here's our wonderful gravy. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Silky
It's
smooth.
fantastic. Plate. I know you thought I forgot about these veggies that you almost
You
threw
did,
out
you
on
did,
me,
I did. I
but I
thought you
kept them,
forgot.
and I've been nibbling on them because they're so delicious.
So let's put a little stuffing on there.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of this stuffing. Oh man, that came
That's
together
a lot of
really
the
good.
stuffing.
It's
That's good, that's good.
Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. All right. I'm gonna take some of that right here and take some of these wonderful veggies. This is like my favorite part right here. This and that wing.
You don't
which
even have to
also
cook
don't
any
like.
other veggies. You just
No,
use the veggies from
just
the bottom
use
of the pan.
veggies. Oh, these carrots. They're so sweet. Okay. And next, we're gonna go ahead and start plating up with our meat. A little bit of that white meat, okay? And some of the dark meat right there in the bottom. I'll go ahead and push these things back.
Man,
just
that's a
touch.
feast right there.
And we're missing one thing. Get that
What's
cleared
that?
off. Huh?
What are we missing?
That is that gravy that you made, which tastes fantastic, by the way. All right.
Can't ever
Okay.
have enough gravy.
All right. There you have it. Thanksgiving dinner on a plate.